Welcome to Living Fuel TV. This is KC Craichy. So what was your breakfast this morning? Does it even matter? Well, actually it does matter. I say change your breakfast, change your life. Did you know the right breakfast, if you're a student, could increase your test scores in the morning? Did you know if you go to work that you'll be more creative, that you'll be more productive if your breakfast is the right breakfast? Do you know what the right breakfast is? Well, apparently, most of America does not know. They either, because of convenience or lack of time, they will not eat breakfast and go to school or go to work or do their thing, and eventually they'll get around to eating, and then their cravings are going to guide their choices. The others will eat good things, but not enough of the good things. So what is the key to breakfast? Well, the truth is that protein, as we talk about smart meals in other segments, how do you make a smart meal? Breakfast is clearly the most important meal of the day. And if you can establish a foundation of good nutrition at breakfast, it will manifest itself throughout your choices during the day. You will feel better, look better, have more energy, and all the things that you really want out of your day. So many of you are having energy crashes and so on. It all starts with the right breakfast. The British Journal of Medicine, about a year ago, came out with a study that actually talked about the timing of protein intake. And it suggested that more protein at the first meal of the day actually modulated appetite for the balance of the day. So you've heard us many times talk about the importance of protein, getting the right protein, getting the right amount of protein, and timing your protein. So now we know through this study and others that more protein at breakfast is more effective than more protein at lunch or dinner, but that doesn't mean that more protein is not important at all the meals. Now, we've talked many times about what the actual ideal protein intake is, and for a person, let's say 150 pounds, you would want between 100 and 150 grams of protein in a day, spaced ideally in 3 meals. So if you're talking about 3 meals, and I'm not really talking to the world-class athletes right now, we'll do another show on that. I'm talking about for the average person who wants to optimize or maintain their current health status, then you would want to have, if you're very active, 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight per day. So if you're 150 pounds, that'd be 150 grams in a day, and the lowest being 50% of your weight in grams. So let's say that would be 75 to 150 grams of protein per day. So the 75 is for sedentary individuals, and if you can move, you better be moving, because sedentary, there's really no excuse for that, because it will shorten your life and the quality of life. So let's say 100 to 150 grams of protein in a day. So if you're looking for 100 grams, that would be 33 grams per meal on the average. So if we know that it's best to time your breakfast meal to have your most or your largest protein intake, so now we're back to breakfast. How do we eat a breakfast to accomplish this? So an egg has 6 grams of protein in it. So you would have to have 10 eggs for 60 grams or 5 eggs for 30 grams. So that's 1 piece. So you've heard of a steak and egg breakfast? It actually starts to make some sense when you look at it in terms of the protein requirements of the body. Now, steak is obviously organic, grass-fed beef can be a healthy food, but eating steak all the time or meat every meal or even too often is really not a healthy thing to do. So you're better off getting yourself a protein powder that you trust, one without all the nasty ingredients in it, no artificial flavors, no sucralose, no extra sugars in it, and that sort of thing. In my book, the Super Health Diet, I write a chapter 11 on the protein and amino acid metabolism and so on. If you're interested, it's a very important chapter to start to understand, but protein is really key. So in order to get a breakfast of protein, it does not include cereals and grains and those sort of things. You can only hold so much in your stomach. So if you're on a reduced calorie, if you're ideally on a reduced calorie, let's just say that you're a male, 1,800 calories a day, or a female, 1,400 calories a day. You're trying to follow the calorie restriction studies out there that say that's ideal. So if your calories are lower, once again, your protein requirement is higher. So if you're eating a low-calorie diet and you're sedentary, you still need to increase your protein to as if you were an active person. So I guess you get my point. Protein is important. The right kinds of protein are important. And really at breakfast, the ideal way, in any meal really, you really need to find a protein powder that you can trust. So find a protein powder or a wholemeal super smoothie that actually brings you the levels of protein that you need to acquire. Let's say a 40% of your protein at breakfast. So if you have a super smoothie along with a meal, you can have a super smoothie as a meal, and you can arrange the protein to be exactly where you need it, or you can have a smaller amount of protein in a super smoothie and have it along with eggs and some other kind of proteins for breakfast. And then you can always surround that with vegetables of any kind. So omelets are another ideal way to go. You can get a lot of eggs in an omelet and so on. So hopefully this gets you thinking about your breakfast, because if you truly change your breakfast, you will truly change your life. So God bless you and have a great day.